The Yankees are going to need some of their best prospects to step up next year and serve big roles on the major league team. Whether that's on the mound or in the batter's box, the Yankees have holes in their roster that need to be filled. But these are three rookies who are poised not just to take big leaps in 2024, but also win jobs out of spring training and potentially help guide the New York Yankees right back to the postseason. Hello everybody, I'm Ryan Garcia, part of the Fireside Yankees team and your host for today's video. And if you guys enjoy Yankees content, you guys have come to the right place because Fireside Yankees is your one-stop shop for the best Yankee content on this platform, with morning podcasts every day and different forms of content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course this YouTube page. Now, 63% of our viewers are not subscribed, so if you're watching this right now and you enjoyed today's video, make sure to check to see if you're subscribed, and if you're not, click that big red button and like and comment as well. We want to know what you guys think about this video. All of your feedback, all of that stuff is integral to us, so we really appreciate you guys tuning in. And without further ado, let's get on to the main event. First, we have right-hander Will Warren, who could be the Yankees' next stud reliever and a depth option in the rotation. Drafted out of Southern Louisiana State University with the 243rd pick in the 2021 MLB Draft, Warren was a largely unknown arm coming into his debut season in 2022 before he absolutely tore up high A, striking out 42 batters in 35 innings, walking just 9, and having a 56.5% ground ball rate. Warren then went to Double A but saw his strikeout rate diminish by 10%, with his walks and average going up as well, causing an ERA spike to over 4. Lefties in particular gave him trouble, so he'd enter 2023 with a more refined arsenal, lighting up the Eastern League for 39 strikeouts in just 29 1/3 innings before getting promoted to AAA, where he'd go on to have a pretty nice season. He did post a 5.52 ERA and averaged under 5 innings to start through his first 11 outings, but the right-hander took it upon himself to make adjustments, pitching to a 2.10 ERA in his final 10 outings, completing 5 innings each time, and seeing an improvement in his quality of contact against. He really took off in September, as he would strike out 32.7% of batters faced, pitching to a 0.63 ERA and not allowing a single home run in that stretch. His pitch shapes are remarkable, with the 24-year-old possessing a 124.5 stuff plus, the best in all of AAA for pitchers with at least 1,000 pitches thrown at the level, with his sweeper leading the way at 82.8 miles an hour and nearly 17 inches of glove side sweep, with batters swinging and missing 39.8% of the time against the pitch, and his sinker works as a heavy sink and run fastball with plenty of called strikes and soft contact on the ground. These two pitches alone give him one of the better pitch mixes for a reliever, but to make it as a starter, it comes down to those tertiary offerings, and he's definitely delivered in that regard. His four-seam fastball, despite average shape and average velocity, plays up because of its slower slot release, and that allowed it to have a 38.6% whiff percentage in AAA. This is one of his primary options against left-handed hitters, and it plays really well off of his changeup, which gets nearly 12 inches of vertical separation off of the fastball, with a near identical movement profile to his sinker, with just a 5-mile-per-hour velocity difference. They look like similar pitches, and then it plays again off that four-seamer well due to the strong vertical separation. Lefties hammered this pitch in August, but once he really found it in September, left-handed hitters were held to a 0.83 OPS and a 76.4 average exit velocity, and all those nasty pitches you've seen on your screen are the exact kind of pitches you can imagine getting big outs in this bullpen, or he could again develop into a starting pitcher, kind of similarly to how Clark Schmidt went from a reliever in 2022 to a starter in 2023. The next player on this list is Everson Pereira, who will be part of offseason trade discussions, but shouldn't be discounted entirely. The 22-year-old outfielder crushed 18 home runs in 81 games between AA and AAA, hitting 300 with a 921 OPS and a 139 WRC+. While he didn't see his success translate in his 27 MLB games, it should be noted that, well, he played just 27 games. Through Aaron Judge's first 27 games, he hit 179 with a 62 WRC+ and 608 OPS. This isn't to say Pereira will have a Judge-like career, but for the type of prospect that Everson Pereira is and the type of prospect Aaron Judge was, high strikeout, big power bats can sometimes struggle with volatility, especially in smaller sample sizes. Obviously, the biggest thing that Pereira needs to fix is his whiffs. He had a 43.1% whiff percentage at the major league level, and that's just not playable. but the swing decisions were above average. He had an above average chase rate and a really good in zone swing rate. The raw power looked pretty good. The expected weighted on base average on contact was above average, and the speed and defense in left field were certainly positives as well. This offseason will be one for Everson Pereira to work on his barrel accuracy, get better at recognizing and making good swing decisions against breaking balls, and just making those small tweaks in order to make enough contact to just stay afloat. I'm going to hammer this point home. It just has to be playable. The type of hitter that I think would be a really good comparison for him would be Christopher Morel of the Chicago Cubs, who has that same flair for the dramatic, incredible raw power, but really high whiff rates. And while Christopher Morel definitely doesn't provide the defensive value that Everson Pereira does, we're talking strictly offense, and a 30% strikeout rate and a 114 WRC plus are kind of exactly what you want Everson Pereira to be, especially considering he provides more defensive value, and again, he can play left field at Yankee Stadium. How many outfielders can really say that, and how many of those outfielders are going to be available for the Yankees this offseason? The goal for Everson Pereira this year should be to hover around a 100 to 105 OPS plus, because with his high power and his high speed, he'll be a pretty electric player to add to the bottom half of the order who can add some power to a slow and mundane offense. Should the Yankees rely on him to be their left fielder? Absolutely not. But they should give him the opportunity to potentially win a job, whether it's off the bench or as a starting left fielder in 2024. I saved Austin Wells for last, not because everybody knew he'd be here, but rather because of the fact that I think he's the most MLB ready guy in their young core. Wells showed amazing power down the stretch, swatting 7 extra base hits and driving home 9 runners, which allowed him to put up a 742 OPS in his first 19 games of work, which is pretty solid for a catcher. The underlying data looked even better, with a 14% barrel rate and 367 expected weighted on base average in his small body of major league work, really generating damage on contact, and that's something that I think will translate very well, not just in Yankee Stadium, but for any hitter when we're talking about making good contact and making pretty good swing decisions. He did chase a little bit more than you want, but he was super aggressive in zone, so you imagine that those two things are going to balance out and come a little bit closer to the median. He did also put up +2 framing runs on Baseball Prospectus behind the plate, and he grew a strong rapport with his pitching staff in the brief time he spent in the Bronx, and while blocking is something he'll have to work on, he knows that more than anybody else, going straight to Tampa in the offseason to get even more work in. I was fortunate enough to ask AAA hitting coach Trevor Amicon about Austin Wells' character and clubhouse presence, and he had a glowing review for the left-handed backstop. Austin brings a really loose but focused energy to clubhouses he's been in. Players really gravitate to him because he puts in the work to prepare really well, but he always keeps things light. He earns the respect of his teammates with how hard he works, but also helps everyone around him relax and be themselves. As a catcher and one of the older prospects in this wave of young talent, being a leader is important, and with experience working with guys like Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, and the aforementioned Will Warren, he'll serve as an excellent catcher and the perfect understudy defensively for Jose Trevino. Wells' baseball acumen matches his incredible talent level, and as the power-hitting catcher continues to make progress on both sides of the ball, he could really evolve into a middle-of-the-lineup bat for this offense. He posted a 116 WRC plus against right-handed pitching, an area of weakness for the Bronx Bombers, and while he didn't fare well against left-handed pitching at the major league level, he posted a 365 OBP and 822 OPS against lefties in AA and AAA this past season, and if he's able to take that leap behind the dish that we know he's capable of, he could be a top 10 catcher next season and add much needed left-handed power to a Yankee offense that finished 27th in OPS against right-handed pitching. Wells is the most proven guy on this list and is the one who I think has the tools not just to help the Yankees on the field, but also provide guidance and leadership to a team that might place a lot of pressure on itself to win following a season like 2023. He's won an Eastern League championship in AA with Randy Vasquez, Will Warren, Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez, and Everson Pereira, and now it's time to see if that same group of young, talented players can provide the same championship caliber play for the Yankees at the major league level. We hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and comment. It really helps our videos perform well in the algorithm, and if you want to stay up to date on what we're cooking at Fireside Yankees, make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and keep up with the rest of our work on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and of course this YouTube page. And if you guys like written content, make sure to check out EmpireSportsMedia.com for all your favorite New York sports content. Thank you for sticking around till the end, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.